So this is the SUPboarder review for the OShea 11.2 GT or Grand Tourer. So a bit about OShea before we get onto the board. OShea is a UK based brand based in Wales. They're a rider owned and designed brand from the rider Farrell O'Shea, and they've been in the windsurfing and surf market for a long time. The specifications for the GT: 11 foot 2 long, 32 inches wide, 6 inches thick, 270 litres in volume. It's recommended a PSI pressure of 15 PSI, it weighs 15 kilograms, and it retails at $749. So the construction of the OShea GT, obviously it's drop stitch, as all SUPs are on the market. It's made of Mirasol drop stitch, which is known to be the better end quality drop stitch on the market, and it's a complete double layer PVC wrap, so it's known to be proven and tested. Other brands have got this sort of construction on the market as well, but it's known to be the tougher construction with double layer PVC. The bag and pump it comes with a quite a lightweight standard sort of size bag. It's got backpack straps, hasn't got any wheelie things or anything, but it's just a basic bag, nice and light, so if you're travelling on the plane and stuff, it's going to be relatively easy. You're going to spend more weight on the board than on the bag, which is good. And yeah, it does the job, fits in there nicely. The pump it comes with, I was a bit cautious of the pump when it first arrived, because this is a relatively big board, being 6 inches thick, and the length of it, and to get a lot of air in it with this size pump. This is actually a double wave pump, so basically as you're pulling the pump up, the air goes in, and as you're pushing the pump down, the air goes in. And then when it gets hard, you've got a release valve which you can undo, and then it only pushes the air when you push the pump down. That pump pumped the board up quite happily, up to 15 PSI in a short space of time, so that was fine, totally adequate, happy with the pump. Okay, we put this board through our deflection test, as we do all our SUPs, with 75 kilograms of weight on the centre, 2 points of 1.5 metres apart, and it came out as a drop of 1.8 centimetres or 18 millimetres, which is actually a very good drop. Being 6 inches, you don't get very much drop on an SUP with 6 inches. If you get down to smaller 4 inches, you'll see more of a drop. So the SUPboarder impressions of the OShea GT. When we took it out of the bag and pumped it up, it's got a nice little amount of nose kick, completely flat in the bottom and flat in the tail, so there's no twists in the board, which is good, and the profile on the underneath of the board looks good. The finish of the board is good. All the logos and graphics are printed on well, haven't rubbed off. The deck pad is all nice with in-cut OShea writing in here, and at the tail. The valve fitting is similar to you've seen on some SUPs, but it's slightly different. That is working really well. We haven't had any problems with the actual functionality of the board. It comes with a nice deep original webbing carry handle that we haven't seen on any of the brands. Nice and easy to hold, nice and comfortable for like carrying long distances. So this board's designed for somebody who's coming into the SUP market, or it can be somebody who wants to do some cruising and touring. Being with the length and the width and the thickness, it can take quite a lot of weight, so you could quite easily plan yourself an expedition and go down the river on this sort of style board. When we're paddling it, it paddles really well. It can take a large amount of weight. We've had riders up to like 95 kg and obviously lighter riders on it. Even with heavier riders and with weight on the board, or even if you're twos up on the board, like you have a child or a dog on the front, it stays very stiff. The only downsides or negative points we found to this board are a few things. One, we think the cargo netting is a little bit too far forward. I'd like to see it a bit further back so you can put a bit more weight on it, and also making it a bit bigger. It's not a massive one, you can always add on, stick on cargo straps quite easily, but maybe bring the cargo link back. And the other thing we found is if we turn the board over, we found the fin it comes with is adequate for a mid-weight rider without any luggage on the board. If you found you're a heavier rider or somebody wants to put more weight on the front of the board to do more cruising and touring, you might want to upgrade the fin to a slightly bigger size just so it tracks better. Is the OShea GT value for money? At $749, it's a very good price point board. Ticks all the boxes if you want to get into SUP and do a bit of cruising. So the SUPboarder verdict for the OShea GT. A good board at a good price point to get you into SUP and also to progress you into touring and cruising. If you wanted to do a bit more of that touring and cruising, I suggest basically having yourself bringing your load straps further back to take your weight and upgrading to a bigger fin. Apart from that, it seems like a good buy. Hope you found the SUPboarder independent review interesting and informative, and we'll see you next time with another board or paddle.